What's up, guys? Today's video is on the top 5 gaming motherboards in 2020. Through extensive research and testing, I've put together a list of options that will meet the needs of different types of buyers. So whether it's price, performance, or its particular use, we've got you covered. For more information on the products, I've included links in the description box below, which are updated for the best prices. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Now, let's get started. The first gaming motherboard in our review is Gigabyte's X570 Gaming X model. Even though it might not be the most feature-packed, it's an excellent pick if you're on a cash-strapped budget. There are plenty of things that make this an excellent motherboard for high-performance gaming, so let's get straight down to business. First and foremost, let's begin with its dimensions. Gigabyte's X570 Gaming X measures 13.18 inches by 10.62 inches by 3.14 inches, and it weighs roughly 3 pounds. The bottom compartment houses two full-length PCIe slots that operate at X16 and X16 by X4 and a high-quality heatsink. The upper compartment governs the processor lanes. Furthermore, there are 3 PCIe X1 slots at your disposal, which can accommodate anything in the range up to 2A AMD Crossfire multi-GPU card configurations. On top of that, Gigabyte's X570 Gaming X offers 6 SATA ports and supports RAID 1, RAID 0, and RAID 10 arrays. As far as its circuitry is concerned, Gigabyte's X570 Gaming X offers 12 phases, out of which 10 are reserved for CPUs. Hardcore gamers love their RGB lights, and even though Gigabyte's X570 Gaming X isn't equipped with a preset and pre-configured lights, it does rock LED headers mounted on its PCB, which can accommodate standard LED lighting setups. Gigabyte's X570 Gaming X supports AMD's second and third generation Ryzen processors, and Ryzen's packed with Radeon Vega graphics CPUs. So in that regard, the only less versatile motherboard in the series is the X570 Aorus Pro. Its CPU power base utilizes direct 16-phase and digital 70A technology, and it is suitable with a DDR4 RAM and certain DDR3s with similar specifications and dimensions. Speaking of which, the maximum amount of RAM you can integrate into Gigabyte's X570 Gaming X is 12 gigabytes. It packs 4 memory slots, so it's basically up to you to determine how you're going to approach the upgrading process. One of the things that we didn't particularly like about Gigabyte's X570 Gaming X is that its heat sinks are pretty bulky. Furthermore, they are not linked to heat pipes. Be it as it may, they get the job done without fail. Overall, Gigabyte's X570 Gaming X is a wonderful, high-performance motherboard that is mainly attractive due to its low price tag. Although this motherboard model is slightly more expensive in comparison to the X570, we dare say that it offers substantially more value for the buck due to its well-roundedness, increased range of supported specs, and a bit more convenient design overall. We're talking about Asus ROG Strix Z390-E, one of the most heavily acclaimed motherboards of 2020. Starting from the very top, let's begin with its dimensions. ROG Strix Z390-E measures 12 inches by 2 inches by 9.6 inches, and it weighs 3 pounds. In that regard, it is much similar to Gigabyte's X570, although its connector ports are slightly more cramped up, providing enough space for additional features to be fit in on it. The main specs of ROG Strix Z390-E include the LGA 1151 premium quality socket, Intel's proprietary Z390 chipset, the ATX form factor, 10-phase voltage regulator, 7 4-pin fan headers, and integrated SATA controllers. Connectivity of ROG Strix Z390-E takes the highlight though. It offers 3 USB Type-C connection ports, 4 A5GB S ports, and 2 USB 2 ports, as well as a Gigabyte Ethernet port and 2 Wi-Fi antenna slots. Furthermore, it supports 5 analog audio jacks and 1 digital out jack. Another thing we liked a great deal about this gaming motherboard is the fact that it supports 3 PCIe v3.0 and it offers 3x Crossfire compatibility. However, it doesn't rock X8 or X4 PCIe support. Additionally, it packs 6 Gigabyte S SATA ports, where the second port is shared with the SATA M2, which shouldn't be too much of a problem for you. It also sports 4 USB headers, including one 10 GB per second second-gen header, one USB V3 header, and 2 USB V2 headers. The latter consumes a single PCIe slot, though. The only thing that you may not like so much about this gaming motherboard is the fact that it doesn't have an integrated diagnostics panel. Luckily, if you have an up-to-date GPU and CPU, the proprietary software will be able to give you alerts in time, but it's still a shame that the motherboard itself doesn't have this security feature. At the end of the day, Asus ROG Strix Z390-E is definitely one of the most versatile and valuable motherboards that a gamer could want. So if you're on the market looking for quality, look no further than this model. Here we have yet another motherboard model from Gigabyte, the Z390 Aorus Ultra. Although this particular gearpiece is an excellent choice regardless of what you intend to use for it, it suits best with Intel enthusiasts and users. So if you're into the core powerhouses, the chances are that you're going to love this model. It supports the latest Intel processors from the 9th core and 8th core generations, which is precisely what you should want to equip your PC with as a gamer. In terms of RAM, it offers dual channels of non-ECC DDR4 memory, as well as 4 DIMMs. There's not a thing you should worry about in terms of cooling and insulation, as the Z390 Aorus Ultra packs highly advanced protective thermal design, packed with direct touch heat pipe. This essentially means that it will optimize and enhance the performance of any and every cooling system you attach to it. Another cool feature of this motherboard is the Intel CNVI 2x2 Wave 2 Wi-Fi, as well as connectors for direct internet, LAN, Intel's proprietary Gigabyte Ethernet with the CFOS speed technology and such. Additionally, it packs ALC 1120VB 114dB SNR on the rear and 110dB mounted on the front, along with top-shelf WiMA-grade audio capacitors. As far as gaming RGB lighting technology is of concern, the Z390 Aorus Ultra offers RGB Fusion version 2.0, along with a multi-zone LED light show. It supports fully addressable LED and RGB LED lighting strips too. Connectivity-wise, the Z390 Aorus Ultra offers a front-mounted USB 3.1 Type-C header, USB DAC up 2, along with fully adjustable voltage, rapid NMVE PCIe x4s, and triple protective thermal guards. Additionally, it comes in a reliable, sturdy protective box, and even the plastic components that compromise the construction of the Aorus Ultra are of impeccable quality. There are a couple of things you should know about this motherboard though. First of all, its software will invariably cause you a bit of trouble at the beginning until it's been updated a couple of times. The UI is great and each feature performs as intended. It's just that the initial setup is a bit annoying. Nevertheless, this is an excellent quality, high-value motherboard that fits right in with almost any kind of setup, especially if you've geared your PC with dominantly Intel pieces. Our next pick is MSI's MPG X570 Gaming Plus motherboard as our top AMD chip motherboard. Truth be told, this particular model is relatively basic, but it's worlds apart from the most mid-range motherboards, not to mention budget and low-end models. Before we get to its main specs, let's briefly talk about its size and weight. The dimensions of MSI's MPG X570 Gaming Plus measure 12 inches by 9.6 inches by 2.5 inches, and it is surprisingly light, with only 2.2 pounds of weight. Its CPU support ranges from 2nd Gen Ryzen over 3rd Gen Ryzen, over Ryzen Radeon Vega to Radeon GDP for sockets that use AM4. Furthermore, its chipset is AMD's X570, hence the name. MSI's MPG X570 Gaming Plus also rocks HDMI 1.4 video ports and a 10-phase voltage regulator. In terms of connectivity, this motherboard offers a single USB Type-C port, 4 USB Type-A ports, and 2 USB V 2.0 ports atop a Gigabyte Ethernet jack. Furthermore, MSI's MPG X570 Gaming Plus features 5 analog audio jacks, one for digital out jack and one legacy port PS2 jack. Additionally, there are 2 PCIe X16 and 3 PCIe X1, although it does not support PCIe X8 and X4s, which is pretty common for a motherboard of this type. This motherboard model also features 6 GB SATA ports, 2 USB V3 headers, and 2 USB V2 headers, as well as a set of regular fan headers that you can use to mount an analog cooling system. As most AMD users already know, the AMD Control Center software is absolutely amazing. It's incredibly easy to use and navigate, and the preset functions will get most of the work done without needing you to adjust any parameters. However, there are a couple of things that leave some room for improvement. The electrical layout of RAM parameters becomes clunky and pretty hard to navigate if you're using several DIMMs. The chipset fan is also pretty weak, so you will need a dedicated cooling system anyhow. All things considered, MSI's MPG X570 Gaming Plus is a phenomenal motherboard meant for both casual and professional gamers. Our final pick is Asus ROG Maximus 7 Apex as our best overall pick. Suffice it to say, this is the best feature-packed, most versatile motherboard that can cater to the needs of even the most demanding gamers, programmers, and engineers, regardless of how strong the specs of your PC are. This motherboard's dimensions measure 14.5 inches by 12.2 inches by 4.25 inches, and it weighs around 2.98 pounds. The first and most important feature of the Asus ROG Maximus 7 Apex is the Intel's proprietary LGA 1200 power socket, which allows you to squeeze out every ounce of strength from your CPU. It was specifically engineered to optimize even the latest processors, but so far it seems to perform a bit better with Intel cores. It rocks 16 teamed power stages and top-quality alloy chokes, as well as robust capacitors that provide ultimate reliability in terms of power supply. The performance of this motherboard is not phased at all, even if you're overclocked every single core of your CPU and GPU, mainly because it sports the exquisite Overclocker's Toolkit and condensation detection features. Moreover, Asus ROG Maximus 7 Apex rocks exceptional VRM heat sinks and C-shaped heat pipes that will complement any kind of cooling system you are using. Its connectivity is also top-notch, as it supports dozens of DIMM and USB slots, as well as Wi-Fi, Gigabit Ethernet, and LAN jacks. The only thing that might dissuade you from buying it might be the hefty price tag, but in our humble opinion, this is the ultimate, best-performing motherboard that the current market has to offer. Thanks for watching, and that's all for now.